Wow, it's good to be a sports fan down here in South Florida, boys. We got the Stanley Cup starting tonight up there in Alberta, Canada, but we got the Florida Panthers, our team down here, playing against Edmonton, a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup. I am Scott Matthews. How's everyone doing today on this lovely Wednesday? This is the Get the Edge Sports Podcast, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, the guys that make it happen with me each and every week. I'm going to start off with my man right here. Wow, look at this shirt. Teddy, before you go to him, hold on. Don't flip to him yet. Teddy, what do you think?
Well,
what do you think?
I almost dropped when I saw him. I knew he owned it, though, so it wasn't like too much of a surprise, but wow.
Did you see the name on the back of the thing? Though?
I saw the name on the back. I think he might have to show the people.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Tommy King. What's up, Tommy?
I wore this just for you this week, man.
Can you turn around? Is there a way you could turn around and just show the people the Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
TK wins.
And he hates the Panthers. He has his own name on the damn jersey.
I don't really hate the Panthers, but
all right. Well, we're going to a lot of talk about Stanley Cup. We're going to get into it big time. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, my other partner in crime. Been with me for a couple of years now. CEO of the Sports Profits, Teddy Brooks.
Fired up, Scotty. Fired up. We got a big night tonight. It's a big game. Game one's big. Got to take game one on the road. That sets the whole pace.
Look at this. I got my TK gave me this little gift, little Kachuk bobblehead for the Stanley Cup. I love it. I'm going to keep it right here in front of me. Yeah, game one.
Does it even have the mouthpiece hanging out?
got the mouthpiece.
Oh, wow.
It's got the mouthpiece? Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, because he hangs a mouthpiece out.
Yeah.
That's his.
That's the signature thing there, right? With that mouthpiece hanging out. All right, guys, we got an action-packed show. Talk about action. Stanley Cup, NBA playoffs. Firings in the NBA, which we'll talk about in a second, and obviously MLB baseball. A lot of crazy things going on in the world of the baseball. We got some tennis going on down there in Paris right now, and I'm sure you guys, you got the NASCAR stuff still cooking?
I still got it cooking. Didn't do too good last week.
All right, we don't want to go there until
ran third, so but I'll wait for we get that.
All right. Guys, Stanley Cup, baby. It's good to be a fan down here in South Florida. We go from one extreme to another within 40 miles. 40 miles, we have a jacked up, filled up Amerant Bank Arena. 40 miles south, we got an empty stadium with one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. So pick and choose who you want. I think I know who I want.
TK just told me their attendance today was under.
They had 4,000. No, there's no way they can be under 100.
Their attendance goes by paid tickets, so you got the season ticket holders. I got a friend at the game right now. He said he counted in the stands. And
good for foul balls, though.
Yeah, great for foul. He said he counted 70 people total at the game.
Wow.
70 people.
I mean,
That's impossible. How could they even survive at that rate?
I have no idea. What's a day game, too, in Miami?
Yeah,
and they're losing.
Miami.
They could get swept by Colorado, who only won 9 games before this series started all season long. Would they win like 2 or 3 on the road, I think, going into this? But I don't want to talk about baseball right now because I'm so jacked up about this Stanley Cup, and I got some ideas on how to make some money with these games, and I'm sure the audience wants to be a part of that. All right, guys, let's dig in. Here we are. Rematch. 2024, now it's 2025. Same 2 teams for the championship, the Lord Stanley Cup. TK, I know where you're going already, but you know what? I'm still going to come to you first. What's your thoughts on not only the series, if you're putting it out, but this game one tonight?
Game one, I'm going to go watch it here tonight. I'm going to take Edmonton here tonight. I know you guys are going to Florida, but I'm going to take Edmonton at home in game one. They might not win game number 2, but they're minus 115 right now, Edmonton.
It's dropping, baby.
Dropping.
5 cents?
No, it's 15
it was
cents.
like it got up to 130 at one point.
It opened at 120 at the Circus. So
he's already making excuses. You see,
I
Teddy?
probably played a total under in this one. I think it's going to be they're going to come out and play them, feel each other out. First game, Panthers made the trip up there late afternoon yesterday. I guess they got up there in the evening.
Yeah.
And for the series, I'm going with the Oilers, man. I'll lead at 130. As soon as I leave here, I'm going to stop by the book. And
any reasoning behind it?
I just think the Oilers. It's time that the Cubs come back to Canada, man.
Why?
All the stuff I see on the sports centers and all the sports talk shows. I think.
What are you worried about them?
Edmonton's going to come out solid in this series, I think, and take care of them.
All right, so you think because they're talking about on SportsCenter that means the
it's
Cup's
time
going
for the
back
Cup.
to Edmonton. Teddy and I are laughing right now, but it's all good. Listen, guys, this team is the real deal. They're probably better this year going into the Stanley Cup than last year, I think. They got some unbelievable personnel they added in. They lost players. They replaced players. Third time in a row they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Think about it. That's hard to do. We may never see that in South Florida. And I don't think a Florida team, I don't know if I'm wrong, but maybe Tampa Bay. Did Tampa Bay win 2 cups in a row? Because I don't think it's ever been done. Where
They won. I think they won 2 out of
3.
3, but I don't think it was 2 in a row.
No team in the state of Florida has ever won back-to-back championships. No, think about the sport, whether it's baseball, football, or hockey. This would be the first time ever. So I think yeah. Oh, what?
72 and 73 Dolphins, I think, did, or 71 and 72. I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah, that could be
I
right.
could be wrong, but that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I was a kid then.
I wasn't born yet.
What about the Miami Heat? Didn't they win back-to-back championships?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, see, I'm
Come on, Scotty.
I'm trying
It's
to
okay
give it
though.
props,
You're so
I'm trying to
excited about the.
yeah.
You just want to make the. You're building them up. You're building them
That's
up.
right.
It's all right.
The Heat did win back-to-back, I think.
Yeah.
With LeBron and was it
sure they
back-to-back? No, I don't think so. I think they won one, then they lost, and they won another one. And they might they had it because they won 3, right?
They won 3.
Well,
yeah.
with LeBron and
But
D-Wade.
not 3 in a row.
All right. No, they only won 2 because
They went 4 times and won 2?
LeBron's won 4.
Okay, you're
He won
right.
2 with the Heat. He won 1 with Cleveland and 1 with L.A. Correct?
Yeah.
All right. there
My
we go.
memory, I didn't come into this trying to remember that. I try to forget those days because I was a really big Heat fan and a really big LeBron fan back then.
Yeah.
And then he broke my heart by leaving, and I haven't really felt the same about basketball ever since.
I'm going to throw it to you because you and I obviously are into this series big time. No matter who wins it, it's going to be a great series. We both know that. You can't take away anything from either one of these teams. They're playing at their best going into the finals right now. What do you think the deciding factor? If you had to guess, like what could be the deciding factor in this series?
I think the deciding factor in this series is going to be Paul Maurice's experience and the depth of the Florida Panthers. I just think they're too deep. And like you said, I think they're better than they were last year because look at the pieces they added, specifically Brad Marchand.
Oh, yeah.
He has been such a difference maker. That's number 1.
Sure.
Number 2, all of their good players, all of their top dogs are playing just as good, but they have other guys that are playing better. Sam Bennett comes to mind first and foremost. Sam Bennett is having a hell of a playoff series. Verhaeghe's always plays good, but Bennett's the biggest improvement from last year. Plus Evan Jones, or Seth Jones. Sorry about that. Seth Jones, huge addition to the team. So Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, 2 huge additions to the team.
Yeah.
The only thing that scares me is the best hockey player in the world,
That's all
Nick
right.
Jesus. He's fast. He's good.
Yeah, but they know how to stop him.
But they know how to stop him. And Hyman's hurt, who's a big player for them, big key to their team.
right.
And I don't know if he's going to be playing. So
Drum roll. Who we
I
like
like-
tonight?
Panthers tonight.
Okay.
Panthers to win the series. And a little bet on Panthers specifically to win the series 4-2.
4-2. 6 games. All right. Well, they got to win one in Edmonton. Then they got to win games in Edmonton to win 4-2. That's for sure. Right?
They have to win games in Edmonton to win the series because they're.
Yeah.
I thought Edmonton. I thought they were going to have the home ice, but Edmonton has the home ice.
I think the Panthers are definitely the team to beat. I've said it for a while. This is not like I'm jumping on them right now. I jumped on it before the playoffs. You saw how they were playing towards the end of the season. They were off. They regrouped real quickly. They got into that series with Tampa Bay, and they made quick work of Tampa Bay, went right up there right when the playoffs first round, win the first 2 games in a row in Tampa on their home ice, and Tampa was playing excellent at that time. So they took the first 2. Yeah, they get let up, and they lost the first one at home, so be it. Then they win the next 2, so got rid of them. Tough series against Toronto, but come back and beat a very good Carolina team. They made Carolina look like a bad team, actually. That's how good the Panthers played in that series because Carolina was an excellent team, and they have tremendous personnel and great goaltending as well. But the Panthers, they were averaging like 5.5 goals a game on the road. That's what makes them dangerous, I think, because they average over 5 goals a game.
Yeah, they're better on the road this year.
Yeah, and they're winning on the road. It's going to take a hell of a performance, I feel. I like them in Game 1, too. I think they're at plus 105 right now, or pick them, or even, whatever the line is. I think they're going to go up there and steal this first game. I think the experience is going to be a factor for them. They do have it. and they've been there. This is the third time, and they got a big chip on their shoulder. They want to win back-to-back cups. Sorry to say, T.
Well, you'll see tonight, man. I know who I'm not sitting next to tonight watching this game.
And it looks like the public leans Oilers. Now, I have a question. I was reading over our show.
I don't know about that.
I was reading over our show questions, guys, at the end of the day. So I have a $500 bet on the Panthers to win pre-playoffs. It pays out $4,000.
Yep.
I told you guys, we were talking about it. I was all over that. I think you were on it too.
You want to make $2,000? You mean?
No, 500 to make 4. It's plus 850.
Right, but you want to hedge it.
Right. So this was a question someone else was going to be asking us that they had the Oilers. Should they hedge it? So I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to hedge it. While I don't want to do that, it's smart money, right? So
No. It's sure money.
Sure money. Yeah.
Right. Think about it.
Yeah.
You want to take a shot and roll the dice, or you want to take a sure $2,000 and call it a day?
Yeah, you get guaranteed money. Or you could even do a little bit less, just bet $1,000 on it. So it's either you're making $500 or you're making $3,000.
Yeah, but you know what? It's more entertaining. I'd rather grab $2,000 by doing nothing than grab $1,000 by doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's more money in your pocket at the end of the day. Listen, it might cut some of your losses down. Who knows where you're at that point in time? It puts an extra couple of grand in your pocket so you can have some fun and maybe find some other place to take that $2,000 and turn it into 10 or 20 grand. What would you do in that spot?
I would definitely hedge it. I did it in football this year in the Super Bowl, and I did it in a March Madness as well. I had to.
At the end of the day, you're conservative.
Yeah, you got to be. You got to take it. I mean, you're guaranteed money, man. You can't lose. So I would take it.
Guaranteed money.
Yeah. Whoever's listening out there to us, what's your take? Any comments on who you think's going to win the Stanley Cup? I mean, we've been asking everybody. Obviously, we have ours locked down. We've been following this stuff all season long to get to this point. We didn't just come up with this yesterday. We've been following the Panthers. We've been following the NHL, obviously, closely all season long. And I just think, like I said, they're just a professional team from top to bottom, from ownership to management, the coaching, and the players. They just work great as a unit. I think it's going to take A-plus effort for Edmonton to really beat the Panthers. So that's why I like the Panthers in this series. I just think that they're the better organization all around. So I'm going to move on. I guess we're done with the NHL, no?
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God, huh?
Let's get this NHL season
You're the one wearing the shirt, man. I'm wearing my regular.
I had other props coming up here, but they didn't get in time, so I'll wait till next week to light those up.
All right. Well, going from one extreme to another, what you guys think? Let's start with Teddy. Tom Thibodeau getting fired after 5 years of the Knicks coach takes them all the way somewhere they haven't been in 25 years. Oh, you like TK. You like to mind read me before I finish. I love it. 25 years. They haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they get there, and what happens? 2 or 3 days later, he's out of work. What'd you think of that? Was that a surprise to you? Something? We've heard rumblings that he was on the hot seat for a bit. So I guess the players, that it's tough to play for a coach like that. He works you hard.
That's a shocker to me. How do you do something you haven't done in 25 years, get that close, and not give the guy another chance to see what he could do next year? And then if he regresses next year, maybe then you fire him. Or maybe they know something that...
Oh, it was a player's decision, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think the players, don't forget, he demands a lot out of the key players, the top five. So a lot of minutes, if you noticed, a lot of minutes were wear and tear on them throughout the season. So, a lot of players, sometimes they don't like that. These guys, how these players are in the NBA.
That's why I don't like
time
the NBA.
off, the prima donnas at times, and they don't like that wear and tear. So probably the players were a key role in the decision-making and letting them go, because he got them to the playoffs, I think, the last 3 straight years in a row, and he won a ton of games. They won like 50 games, I think, the last 3 years in a row. So he did his fair share of getting the job done and keeping them moving in the right direction, but they fired him when they got to the best direction in 25 years, like you said. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, I was shocked that they actually fired a coach. I mean, fired him early. I figured they would wait. Usually when they wait till mid-June, July.
No, they want to replace him.
They want to get rid of him.
I think, who do you think's a candidate for that Knicks job? I think that Mike Malone, fired from Denver, is
perfect candidate. Yeah. Which that was another shocking firing.
Yeah, at the end like that.
And Denver actually put a good push out, so you couldn't really argue with it. And Denver went 7 with OKC, right? I mean, it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, they pushed them to a 7th game, which, listen, OKC has been, we're going to get right into we got the NBA Finals starting tomorrow night, and we got 2 teams left to battle for the championship. 2 teams that never won a championship, which makes it even more exciting and outstanding. You got the Indiana Pacers, surprise Cinderella team, I guess you could call it, the Eastern Conference, to get to where they got against the number 1 team throughout the whole entire year in the NBA, the most consistent team, best record. They proved everything that they are real, and they're just continuing to keep moving and grooving. We're going to game 1 tomorrow. I think the current line on that game, T?
9.5 and 230.5.
Okay, so they're expecting a run and gun type of game based on that. Obviously, at 2:30, these teams are explosive. They got a lot of weapons. They got a lot of deep ball firers, and they got some good inside game. Both of them. What's your take on game 1 or the series?
Series, you got to definitely go with OKC. I thought they'd open up as a 5-1 favorite. They open up at a 750. I see OKC winning this game in 4 games. They might get the gentleman sweep 4-1. I don't see Indiana putting up anything on them. OKC should have blown.
What do you mean by that? Not putting up anything on them?
I just think OKC is going to come out too solid. They're 9.5 tomorrow. They'll probably win by 20.
They've been off for a bit.
That's all right. So is the hockey teams. They've been off for a couple days as well, a few days.
Yeah, I understand.
They're well rested. They're young kids, so both teams got young players. But
so what are you calling?
I'm going OKC in a blowout tomorrow night, and OKC to win 4-0, 4-1 in the series. Might get the gentleman's sweep so they can win a championship, their first championship at home.
All right, Teddy, any thoughts on the NBA? I know you love the NBA more than life itself.
I love it.
Probably more than the wife and the whole 9 yards. You love the NBA.
Listen, guys, we're giving this Indiana team. They've done a lot. Like, they beat the Knicks, who they weren't supposed to beat. They beat the
Cleveland.
Cavs, who they weren't supposed to beat.
Cavs were playing great too.
And listen,
That was shocking to me.
Would I bet the Thunder minus 700 for the series? No. Would I bet the Pacers plus 500 for the series? No. But I do have something that I kind of like.
Let's go.
I like over. This is a little bit of a, I don't know who's going to agree with me on this, but I think this is
Maybe Ben.
over 5.5 total games for the series.
5.5. Oh
Plus-
my God, this
plus
guy.
110.
I'd fire under
Wow.
on that.
So the under is minus 135 on that. So
that's not a bad play, Teddy.
So what that means is you're getting plus money for the game to go for the series to go 6 or 7 games.
I got to ask a hypothetical question. If Cleveland didn't get banged up, let's just make this hypothetical, and Cleveland plays against OKC, which were the 2 best teams. You think Cleveland have a shot against OKC if they were healthy and they were playing like they played all season long? Because this is a reason you might want to look at this series a little closer, because Indiana demolished Cleveland in that series. I know they were banged up. They had guys out of the lineup, key players, and so forth and so on. But they still made them look terrible. So if Cleveland was healthy, the way they played all year, and they matched up the 2 number ones and went against each other, would you think it would be a sweep? I don't think so.
No.
Exactly.
No, I don't think this
so
is
you
going to be a sweep
You
either.
got to give a little credit to this Pacer team.
Yeah, that's why I like the over 5.5 games.
I don't think they're going to be blowouts like a lot of people think. I think these games are going to be a little closer than a lot of people think, actually.
That's why I like the over 5.5 games, because I think that the Pacers put up a fight and win a couple.
And I think the Pacers can take a game or 2 at home against this team because they match up kind of similar. They're young players. They play around each other. They all like each other, and you could see it on the court that these teams are they gel together as units. So I'll tell you what, that first game might be a little gift from God. Grabbing 9.5, I might bang that line up to 11 points. I'll pay the 135 juice, and I take Indiana in that game 1 plus 11. I think if I can get Indiana Pacers at double digits, just the way they've been playing over the last 3 months, and how they continue to find ways to win. I mean, yeah, they can get their ass kicked. There's no doubt about it. Can OKC win the game by 30? Of course they could, but I don't see it. I think Pacers stay in the game. I think the game's going to be about 6 or 7 point game either way. Boom.
If you want to save the juice, I'll take your bet here. I'll give you 12 points in this game because I think they're going to be by 20
Hold
points
on.
easily
All
tonight.
right, let's go. I'm ready.
We got a bet. We got a good bet.
How much can I play at plus 12?
Well, how much did Hard Rock give you? A couple dimes a game, probably.
I'll take it.
I think that plus 12. I think OKC just.
I think this series is not going to be a quick series either. I got a funny suspicion the NBA is probably smiling a little bit because they got two teams that are exciting, even though no one expected Indiana. Everyone expected OKC. It was kind of chalky right from the beginning, but everyone expected OKC to play either Cleveland or Boston. We all did. We all were wrong. There's no doubt about it, and we admit when we're wrong. But Celtics got hurt and they fell apart a little bit, and it seems like they got winded. And same with Cleveland. They got banged up, lost some key players, so that knocked them out. But,
I think the Celtics situation showed us how important Jason Tatum is to that team also.
They only lost him in Game 6. I don't think
that's true. Yeah. That's true.
I mean, they weren't looking right. The Pacers played the Celtics extremely well.
You mean the Knicks?
Excuse me, the Knicks. Yeah. The Knicks played the Celtics extremely well, and then the Knicks wore out. I think from that series, that took a lot. That was like their championship win, beating Boston, the defending champions. That was like the
and that's that natural like the rivalry too.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but yeah, I like. Listen, I don't think it's just going to be a 4-game sweep blowout. I just don't see it happening. I'm with you, Scotty, but. I like that over 5.5. I think it could go 6 games if they snag.
Watch how the lines change throughout this series. It's going to be interesting how the lines reverse from Game 1 to Game 2, 3, 4. You'll see some numbers. These games could change drastically. A couple of points, 2-3 points in one direction or another based on what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, but if the Pacers play a close game, I don't think you see a 9.5 again.
I agree. And then once they get home, who knows?
See 8. Pacers will be dogs in every game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
OKC,
yeah, for sure.
4-point play.
Well, let me ask you this question: what if the Pacers shock and they win the first 2 games? You think they're going to be a dog at home in Game 3?
I still think they'd be a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're a dog.
They're a dog.
In fact, I think that they might be. If they take the first game and then OKC takes the second game.
They split, yeah.
And they split. I think they would actually be
3.5
less
dog.
of a dog than they would if they won the first 2.
I think they'll be 3.5 to 4 dog at home.
Yeah, I agree.
Game 3. I think, like T said, OKC is going to be the favorite throughout the whole entire series. We both know that because they're the number 1 team and they deserve to be the favorite. They've proven it all year long. All right, so we'll start. You had OKC to win and cover?
OKC by at least 20 tomorrow.
And did you make a call on anything?
No, I'm just putting in for now. I'm just putting in that over 5.5 games bet, and then I'll see how Game 1 goes before I start going on single game bets.
Nothing on the total.
Nothing on the total or the side. Just that over 5.5 games for the series right now.
Okay, and I'm definitely taking the Pacers, and I'm going to get 12 points from this gentleman right here. Why should I even waste my time with the Hard Rock?
Guys, who needs the Hard Rock?
Are we on for that?
We'll talk after the show.
He's backing out on me. See? He's backing out on me.
OKC probably win every game in the series by double digits. I don't see Indiana.
Ben, we should have grabbed it when we had the chance to grab the 12, Ben. See, now he's backing out. He's not going to do it. He knows. Once I get jacked up on something, he's going to little.
Ben's over there resting, man. He was at swim week all week, man. He's a little banged up over there himself.
He was chasing the most beautiful thong in the world down there. They had girls from every part of every nation there is, and then some.
Every corner of the world.
What were you driving around down there in a Rolls Royce or something? What were you in there?
Who was he with? Foot Manny Betts?
I don't know who he was with. I saw him jump out of a Rolls Royce from the back seat.
And a big cloud of smoke came out of the back of the car. It was like that movie. What was that movie? Oh, God. With Sean.
Cheech and Chong?
Yeah, when they opened the van and all the smoke came out of it.
Wait, is this true, Ben? I didn't see any of this.
Yeah, well, I was in the back of a Rolls Royce.
Nice, nice.
You don't invite us.
No,
we could have shot the pod right out of the back of the Rolls.
But I don't blame him. He's invited me to like multiple of his shows. I didn't go to any, so
yeah.
But once I do, I want that invite in the Rolls Royce.
All right, guys. Well, we gave you picks for hockey. We gave you the picks that we feel great about for the NBA. And we got the baseball going right now. We got a full slate of games. We had some early games. Let me see if that game's final. Did the Marlins lose that game?
Bottom of the 9th right now.
They lost.
It's final?
Yeah, 3-2.
Oh, just went final, 3-2.
Unbelievable. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Colorado sweeps the Miami Marlins. And Colorado only won 9 games all year long, and they got a 3-game sweep in Miami. Can you imagine if you parlayed that one? Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Woo, you'd be making some money. Just shows you when you got 2 shit teams on the field, anything can go.
That's why I don't like betting.
That's why I don't bet shit teams.
Exactly.
I don't have to.
I try to stick with like the top half of the league, the top 15.
You want to play consistent teams. If we're putting your money on games, why you want to bet on teams to hope they win out of nowhere? You know what I mean? They're on long losing streaks. They're inconsistent. I'd rather play teams that are more consistent. They find ways not to lose a bunch of games in a row. They find ways to win games in a row versus these teams that are just, going sideways all the time. And it's hard to judge them because the prices on those games are a little more difficult.
It is. But one thing I'll tell you is this. Like, the Marlins were minus 150 against the
That was the
Rockies.
lowest price on that.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if I see the Rockies playing another team and that other team is minus 150, my first reaction is bet the Rockies.
Consideration, yeah.
My first reaction is bet the Rockies because why is that line so low?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's consideration. That's a smart move. You hear what he said, ladies and gentlemen? He looks for value in teams when they're playing against other teams. And when he sees something that doesn't make sense, that, don't make sense theory, sometimes they make a lot of sense. And you got to take advantage of those mistakes because there are games that are underpriced or overvalued, whatever you want to call it, and you really can take advantage of opportunities. Like Baltimore recently. Here's another example. They started turning it around. They've been playing good baseball. The value on them, you're not getting the prices you did as if you were 3-4 weeks ago. And then they weren't playing well. But right now they've turned it around. They're starting to win games. They won 4 straight games in a row. And, they're playing against a team like Seattle, who's like a hot and cold team. They go on these runs, and then sometimes they go on these bad losing streaks.
Are you reading my screen?
No. I can't see your screen. Oh, is that one of the games you're looking at?
You're saying everything I'm going to say. You're taking all my steam.
All right, no problem. All right, I'm going to stop.
Look at the Brewers, too, man. They were in a hot streak. They got robbed last night. The guy hit the one to the
I
wall.
had the Reds yesterday.
He jumped over the fence, grabbed the ball. It would have been a tie game going into.
Did you see that catch?
That was a great catch.
Wow. Can you imagine the talent on these guys? I mean, that's a perfect example. Was it a 2-1 at the time? Was it a 3-run homer or a 2-run? It would have been.
I think they had one guy in base. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
it would have tied the game up. Right, and that would have kept the Brewers' 8-game winning streak alive. Yep. They lost the game, but they come back. I think they won easy.
6-1 top of 8th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to find teams that are consistent, and you can get some value today. They were a dog playing against Cincinnati, who hasn't really been an up and down team. I mean, at the end of the day, so they're no world beater. I'd look to bet against teams like that all day.
Absolutely.
Speaking of betting against or betting on, who you liking tonight in baseball? I know you got to like something.
Well, I like that team that you just said was 4-0 in their last 4, Baltimore
Sorry
Orioles.
about that
They're
one.
5-1 in their last 6 games playing on the road against Seattle, and Seattle's 3-6 in their last 9. Seattle is the definition of inconsistency. They could be so good, but they could be so bad. And I'm looking at this plus 111 line. I see value there. I'm going to go
Not a
with
good home team either.
Right.
Like 50-50.
Right. I'm rolling with the Baltimore.
Lines come down.
Lines come down. Rolling with the Baltimore Orioles there. I'm also looking at this Rangers-Tampa Bay Rays game. The Rangers starter Kumar Rocker, he hasn't played since April 23rd. You know what his ERA is coming into this game?
Yeah, I can tell you.
8.
It's high.
8. And he has not made it out of the 4th inning in 3 out of his last 5 games. So
You like a total on a game like that?
it's maybe even a team total.
8.5?
Maybe even a team total. Now, what here's why I don't like the total, Scotty, because the Rangers on the road, they rank 26th in scoring on offense. So maybe a Rays team total there. And then Shane Baz for the Rays, he has a 4.92 ERA, not lighting the world on fire, but they have the 6th best bullpen. I've been paying more attention to bullpens this year than ever before, and it's helping. It's making me some money. So I'm going with the Rays.
I think he probably got a good stat. Tampa's played Texas pretty well recent, haven't they? They beat them like
Texas 14-3 their last 17 head-to-head against Tampa Bay.
Who's Texas?
Texas.
Wow.
14-3.
Tampa's been beating them recently, I thought, in the last series.
Under 7-2 the last 9 meetings, Texas against Tampa.
You like that game?
Stay away from that game. I like that game.
What the hell does it take for you to like something then? 14-3 is you're saying. That's usually you're jumping all over it. All right. You like something in baseball?
Can't bet trends. Can't bet just trends.
Yeah, I'm playing one game here tonight. I'm gonna give it out right now. I'm gonna take the Houston Astros, man. They did the job last night as a nice dog. Right now they're a small favorite on the road here tonight. They're 7-2 their last 9 games overall. They're 4-1 their last 5 on the road against Pittsburgh.
Is that a day game?
No, it goes late tonight.
Does it? Houston Astros?
6:40 Eastern.
Okay.
I'm going to jump on Houston, man.
I'm looking at, is that it? Minus 130?
Minus 130.
What's going on with Paul Skeens, man? He can't buy a win. He pitches great, and they can't do shit for
They
him.
can't score.
Yeah, they can't score.
They have
for
like the
guy.
second worst offense in the league.
Last night he pitched pretty damn good again.
I bet.
You had a
only-
pop on that, didn't you? I thought.
Yeah, over 6.5.
Did it win?
Yeah, it hit. He got 8 strikeouts.
There you go.
That's how you have to make money on a guy like that because you can't bet his team.
Yeah.
I actually did a small bet on first 5 innings minus a half a run, and all they had to do was score 1 run, and they couldn't do it. Paul Skeens shut him out for 6 innings straight.
See, that's another thing. You got a guy like that. If you look at the lines on him, because he was big numbers. You know, when he was hot, he was like minus 180, 200. The numbers and the prices have come down. Like last night, he wasn't a big favorite.
He started the year a little shaky, too.
Yeah.
But he's been hot. He's been pitching last like 3 or 4 games. He's been hot, but you got to get run support, guys. That's why, especially for first 5 inning bets, you really, if you're going to bet a good pitcher in the first 5 innings, you got to make sure that their offense can support them with runs. Otherwise, it's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, well, that's the key. You got to find the right situation to get in on those first 5 innings. I personally like to play the whole games because I want as many innings as I can. So I try to stretch it out. I'm not really a first 5 innings guy. The few games I've looked at that I did it with, I think I won 1 and I lost 1. But the main thing I look for is playing the whole games. Just hope those bullpens don't come in and screw it up because they find ways to do that. I've had games where I had a 2-3 run lead. They take the starter out, and boom, the wheels fall right off the bus. Mm-hmm. You've had that. You probably want to rip your hair out of your
I
head.
stay away from the first 5 innings myself. I'd rather play the full game. I mean, I had with one pitcher, and he pitched a great game. Crochet for he pitched for Boston. What a game, man! The guy pitched the other night, but a lot of these pitchers.
What's wrong with the Red Sox, man? They're burning money faster than a money pit.
Well, Mike Trout.
They're losing again today.
7-5. Mike Trout came back in the lineup too. That little difference in that.
Well, that's a
series.
spark. Yeah, that's a first round Hall of Famer right there, and he hit a big blast his first game back. I think.
Poor guy. Poor Mike Trout.
Yeah, I mean that guy's great.
He's great, but
injury
like,
prone.
What a weird career. Like no titles.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, imagine if a
Did
Mike.
I thought he won a title early in his career. Didn't he?
Did he with the Angels?
I think so. Yeah, the Angels didn't.
Oh, when they beat the Yankees.
They won a few championships. I think he was part of at least one of them. Yeah, I got to think he won. See, you pull that up. I'm curious on that.
You got to look at Boston too. They lost their first baseman. He's out for the year. Casas. You know, he was an American heritage boy too, man.
Another team that makes you scratch your head is
no championships for Mike Trout. He had only 1 playoff appearance in 2014.
Wow,
only 1 playoff appearance.
It's amazing.
What a waste of a career. Great career. He's like
he's
the Mike.
It's not a waste.
He's kind of like
he's had a great career.
Exactly. He's like the Dan Marino of baseball.
Dan Marino. There you go. Got to 1 Super Bowl and got destroyed.
Yeah.
He ran into Joe Montana.
Yep.
He forgot who the hell he was
Hey,
running
you know what
into.
they say? Timing's everything in life.
That's why the Panthers, man, are so exciting to me because I think that they're just such a great team. They remind me of a team like the 49ers that had those back-to-back multiple years. You're seeing the progression of the Panthers being in 3 Stanley Cups in a row. You're not going to see that too often in this day and age, where a team can defend to win a 2nd Stanley Cup in a row. What do you got, T?
There it is right there, 49ers, Montana.
Yeah,
I remember
it was
that
a
game.
blowout.
That was a blowout.
What, it was like 55 to something?
It was an absolute blowout, that game. It was over in the first quarter.
You know, another team makes you scratch your head in baseball is this Atlanta Braves team. I mean, you think they're going to get going. They get their big Akuno back recently, and you think they're going to start off, and they just can't find their way out. They're just going like up and down like a yo-yo. And another one that burns money is that team.
Yeah,
a lot of people jump on them.
They're juiced, too. They're juiced every game, 150, 160. Like, they're 170 tonight. Granted, they're playing Arizona has a better record than them.
Atlanta opened up at 140 yesterday. Line moved to 185, and they still lost last night. The pitcher gave up all them runs early.
The odds makers aren't giving up on them though. They keep giving them those juice lines. like they think they're going to turn it around. Obviously.
Yeah, game I like tonight. I like San Diego against San Francisco. These games have been tight games, real pitching matchups so far in this series. But San Diego's 7-3 in their last 10 games. They won the last couple in a row. This San Francisco team, to me right now, is shaky. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They started out a house of fire. Was making money with them early. I've tailed them for a while. Haven't jumped on them in a bit. I've been actually going against them recently, and it's been working. So I've done really well going with them and going against them. Now, I may jump back on them. Who knows when I start seeing more consistency, but right now, inconsistent at best. Lost 2 straight games in a row to the Padres. Padres playing better, I think, and the line on this game's like a pick 'em, -10 either way. I like Pivetta. He's a solid pitcher. He's pitched really well this year, 6-2 with a 274. So I think he's going to give him a quality start, and I think San Diego's going to find a way to sweep it. Now, here's another thing for you guys. Does it change? It's going to be that could be a question that I guess the audience could even ask. But if you see a series like today, you had Colorado that won the first 2 games of the series against the Marlins, going for the sweep. Does that change your philosophies at all, or you stay away from that? Or think, the Marlins need to, they got to win, or they're not going to get swept. Or same like this series, San Diego, San Francisco. San Diego going for the sweep. They won the first 2 games. Does it keep you away from a game like that? Are you attracted to the sweep or are you looking to beat the sweep?
There is data behind that says that it's really hard to get that sweep, but I personally try to stay away from looking at that.
See, I don't care.
I don't care. I stay away from looking at it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, maybe in a 4-game, because the average series are usually 3 games,
yeah.
but sometimes they'll be 4-game series. So maybe I'll look at it in a 4-gamer, but in a 3-game series, I don't look at it. I don't.
Is this a 4-game? Let me
There's
check.
too many other
playing
3-game series.
To me, there's too many other things to
No,
look
they're
at.
playing tomorrow.
It's like in golfing. TK, I know you golf. Scotty, do you golf at all? Not really.
I used to.
Okay.
Well,
in golfing, they say you want to have like one swing thought. You want to go into it like if you start thinking about everything, your grip, your stand, and all this stuff, you overthink and overanalyze, paralysis by analysis. So that's something I don't really pay much attention to.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I like who I like at the end of the day. I don't worry about, oh, my God, they're going for sweep. So what? Maybe they're just better right now. They're in more of a groove right now. They're playing better as a team right now. So why not take advantage of it? And the pricing, I look at it from the pricing standpoint. San Francisco losing a couple of games. They're only 110, it's a 110 either way. So they're giving a lot of credit to San Diego in the game. Obviously, the pitching matchup may be a little more favorable because Harrison's only 1-1, so he hasn't pitched as much as Pivetta's pitched for San Diego. But still, I think if San Francisco was right, they'd be $1.25, $1.30. So I think I got the right side of this one. I'm going to take San Diego in this game. Anything else in baseball?
Oh, man, that's all I'm playing here tonight.
He's quiet as a church mouse. So he must be saving all his energy for this hockey or something.
Let's give the guy.
What the hell are you watching over
Let's give him a recap. Let's give him a quick recap. So in hockey, TK's got Edmonton. Me and Scotty have Florida. NBA, TK has OKC. Scotty has Indiana plus the points. I'm betting the series
I'm buying it
over 5.5 games. Baseball, I have Tampa Bay and Baltimore. TK, who do you have again in baseball?
I got the Houston Astros.
Houston Astros in baseball. And Scotty is rolling with the San Diego Padres and Nick Pivetta on the mound.
Another play that looks good tonight, the Dodgers and Mets have been scoring runs like crazy in the series. Both these teams have been scoring. I think this game has potential to go over. The first couple have. 9.5 is the total. I'd probably adjust it to 9. But I think they can score runs again. These teams have got real strong power hitting both teams. And,
I think Monday went under because I think I gave that. I gave the
first game went out.
I gave the over as my free play.
Right, 4-3.
Because I agreed, Scotty. I think this is a big time over series.
Yeah.
But I like that. I don't see another one going under.
Yeah, these teams seem like they can score when they want to score, and when these pitches allow a lot of base runners. So that, to me, gives an edge to, obviously, if they start hitting the ball, which both these teams have great lineups that can hit, and with some power hitters and clutch hitters. So I think that game has a shot to go. I'd take it down to 9, and I'd go over the 9 as a light play. Guys, just so you understand, these are not games to go out and bet heavy on. The other guys can speak on their behalf, but I'm sure they feel the same way I do. They're not games we're telling you go out there and crush and play big money on like our private exclusive service games that we work directly hand in hand with our players directly on a daily basis. So these are games to have some fun with. If you're a $100 player, I recommend betting like $50 on these games, just to try to build up a little bankroll. You agree the same, I'm sure.
I kind of like the Mets here tonight, too. You're talking about another game here tonight. I was looking at that one earlier. You brought it up. It might be a nice little dog here tonight going against the Dodgers. They could get the bats going. They got a good pitcher going tonight. They got Canning going today.
Yeah, Canny's been consistent. He's 5-2. He's got about a 3.73 ERA, whatever the case may be, and he's going against Goslin. Goslin is he's a solid pitcher, but he allows a lot of base runners, and he has a high ERA. So with that powerful lineup of the Mets, I mean, anything goes. I think I'm having two teams that can hit the ball work for me tonight. So I'll take the total, go over. I don't care who wins the game. I just want to get the total over. 9 runs. And that's it for baseball. All right, listen. I think we should jump to some questions that we have from the audience. What do you guys think?
Yes,
I think it's
sir.
the right time, Ben.
Let's hear him, Ben.
Yeah, of course. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. Perfect. So, looking at some of the questions that we have, we have how do odd makers set betting lines, and what influences line movements?
You want to start it?
Start one. That's all you take.
Well, I know the places like the Circa.
Got it right in front of them.
I got all the lines in front of me, but I'm sure you know they got their own AI systems. They got all the stats. They got the angles.
Right.
I mean, they got the sharpest numbers out there. They got the MIT guys out there. They got everything set in these lines. And the only thing that's going to adjust the line is the sharp bettors coming in. They know which guys are coming in sharp when the times they come in and play their games. So that's going to adjust the line. I mean, if you look at the baseball game, here's an example here tonight. Minnesota's playing Las Vegas here tonight. They're playing the Athletics. Line open up at 143.
Why do you keep calling Vegas?
Well, they're Vegas. It says Vegas now on the thing.
All right.
So, but that line jumped 40 cents, and there was really no injury. So
They're crushing them, though, in the series.
But the line to move 40, 50 cents in the game, that's a big move. And it moved at the circa 40 cents within 10, 15 minutes. So somebody came in and they hammered that game.
So let me ask you, forget all that. So would that take you off the play? Would you stay on it? What would you do on a spot like that? If you like a play and it goes 40 cents higher.
I'm still playing. If I liked it at the minus 140,
it's
I'm
not
going to
distract you.
It's not going to distract me.
Just to add to what TK said, I think a lot of it's also a copycat thing. I think a lot of the smaller operations copycat. So if they see one book move a line 20 points, they're going to say, okay, we're going to move it also. Now, question to bounce off that question, obviously sharp money affects it, but how much does public money affect the line movement?
Maybe in football. I don't know really much in baseball, but we were at the show not long ago talking about moving lines and doing things like DraftKings, FanDuel. They use companies like BetRadar, TX odds, so they're pulling stuff. And if you're looking at live betting too, how live stuff's gone, it's all algorithms. Yeah. Everything is an algorithm. So there's really not a bookie setting the lines like back in the day.
And don't forget, guys, they're putting out a neutral line. They're just putting out a neutral line for you guys to decide which way you want to go. So, that's all they're concerned about. They want to put out a number that they feel makes sense, and then it's up to you whether you want to bet that way or that way on the game. So,
and one misconception, guys, the sports books, yes, they want to win, but what they care about more is that on any given game, no matter what happens, they make money on either side. That's what their real goal is.
Well, they definitely don't want to be holding a ton of money on one side, right. That's for sure. Ben, anything else?
Yeah, we got a couple more, actually.
Let's do it.
So, here, let me get you guys all on
I hope we answered that one for you guys.
Yeah, that was good. What impact do weather conditions have on betting outcomes in outdoor sports like football or baseball?
Well, it depends. If it's
probably let's stick with baseball for right now. Let's talk about baseball.
Well, baseball, if it's raining, let's face it, they're going to delay the game. I mean, that's going to take, depending on how long the rain delay is, it's going to take the starting pitchers, most likely whoever was pitching at that point in time, are going to come out of the game. Especially if it's more than a 30-minute rain delay, they're not going to bring back the pitching that was in there. So if you had, let's say you had two great pitchers that were pitching a shutout, you're 5 innings into the game or 4 innings into it, and now it starts pouring, and they got to put the tarp on the field. They take everyone out, and depending on how long the delay is when they come back, you're going to see new pitches in the game. It could affect a lot of things. There's nothing you can really do. It's the human element of rain. I mean, obviously before the game started, you can say, hey, it's raining there. Do I want to be part of this rain delay and bet this game if it does stop raining? They didn't warm up like they normally would. So it has a lot of effects in it. But once the game starts, it's really in God's hands at that point.
No, they got a new rule in baseball. Any new stadium built, it's got to have a retractable roof or be a dome. So there's no more weather delays.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still going to
Well,
have the
there's
Red
still
Sox.
stadiums outside, though.
The old stadiums,
So
right?
Yeah.
Any new stadium built has to have
He's saying the new ones.
All new
Right.
stadiums have to have a retractable dome now.
I think you look at a place like Wrigley, has a lot of effect. The wind has a lot of effect on Wrigley. So I have a shout out. I have a client, Nick T. We were just having this conversation. He's just been betting if the wind's 10 miles per hour or higher, depending on which way it's going, he's going over under, depending on the direction of the wind.
Well, you'll see a big line difference.
Yeah,
so.
he's been successful with that bet. I haven't really looked into it, but he was telling me actually like 2 days ago we were talking about. He's been very successful with it.
The problem with baseball and rain is, like I said, it depends when it starts. If it rains before the game, I wouldn't even touch the game, to be honest, because now you could be sitting 2 hours before the field dries out or it stops raining. They're not warming up like they normally would, so why would you want to be involved in that type of game like that to begin with? If it happens, like I said, during the game, there's nothing you can do about it because most likely if it's a long delay, you're going to lose the pitches that you had in there, so now it's a whole different ball game. And the price probably would have been a lot different, obviously, before the delay. What it was beforehand to now what it's going to be afterwards once they start playing again.
Hey, you got to look at these stadiums too, man. They got retractable domes.
What is this with you in these stadiums today?
The stadiums, man, you could have a retractable.
But we're talking about when it happens.
Well, you're talking about weather. You could a retractable stadium. You could have it open and the wind could be blowing
What
out.
about,
you could have it closed.
What about as
Right.
it gets hotter?
But
The ball travels a little bit
We're
farther.
talking about
right?
rain, so that means it's going to affect open stadiums, not closed roofs.
Well, it's not going to affect Miami. They close that sucker up in 15 minutes.
Maybe less.
So we will get to a point one day, guys, where it's not going to matter anymore. But will they ever get rid of stadiums like Wrigley Field? Does Yankee Stadium have a retractable roof?
No.
No,
of course
and
not.
they just built it.
They just built that one. But
So when did that rule go into
I
effect?
think it
It's
just
been
came
around
in
for a while.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. I
What
think
about City Field for the Mets?
Yeah.
They don't have it. No, it's not going to. There's too many teams playing outdoors. You got Chicago. Both teams play outdoors. Houston. What about Houston? I think is it retract? No, I don't think it
not
is either.
retractable.
There's a lot of them that are not retractable. The Marlins have it obviously, and I think Seattle they don't have a retractable roof.
I don't know, but it
That's the same
rains
a
a
while
lot in Seattle, so I
Yeah.
hope they do.
Anything else, Ben?
Yeah, we got probably about 3 more questions for you guys. So, Tyler from Evansville, Indiana.
Woohoo! Hoosiers. Let's go, Tyler.
How do you guys decide when to play the money line and when to play the run line? What is guiding your decisions between these two options?
What sport? I wish you would have said.
I'm assuming he meant baseball because he
Baseball,
said run
run
line.
line.
Come on, Scotty, run line.
I'm sorry. I thought it. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go first on that one.
What makes my decision? It's real simple. It's all based on my formulations of the game itself, the matchups, how the teams are going, what I see in that game, the numbers should be at. I'm not going to probably lay a run line if I have value on the game, because if I take plus 1.5 runs, I'm going to have to lay a shitload of juice. I could have to lay 180 or almost 200 on a game where I might be plus 115. I mean, there's times where I definitely do it. I did it last night. I actually did it last night with the New York Mets. I took the Mets plus 1.5 runs as my big play, and I laid the 160, 165. So it worked out great. It was the only way you could win that bet because the Mets lost the game 6-5. If I would have just tried to grab the money, I would have been a loser.
What about minus 1.5?
Minus 1.5? I very rarely do that. I
Okay.
think I did it once this whole year. It was the other day, and it was crazy how I happened to win it. It was on Saturday. I had St. Louis, and they minus 1.5 runs. I forgot who they played. Was it Texas? Yeah, I think it was Texas, and they won 2-0 with Sonny Gray.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got
Wow.
lucky as shit to win. They got 2 runs early in the game, and no one scored the rest of the way. I am not a big fan of laying 1.5 runs. I really am not. I'm more of a fan of taking 1.5 because I am looking for more live situations on these games. I don't like laying these big favorites. And, instead of laying 2-1, maybe lay 1.5 runs because I see a lot of times they'll win by 1 run and then you get, you pull your hair out of your head.
Yeah, like my free play last night, Yankees minus 1.5. They won by 1, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you had the right idea because the team won, but
exactly. And they got the cheesy ass run in the ninth inning. It was 3-1 Yankees, and the reliever came in who's not been on target so far this year for them, and he allowed that 1 run.
And it's tough when they're a home team because they don't get that extra inning.
extra inning.
So when you're betting, this is important, guys. When you're betting minus 1.5, if you're betting the home team, you only potentially get 8 innings and the other team gets an extra inning, they get 9 innings. So you're getting one less inning of opportunity. So I try to look for a -1.5 on the road. I think getting that extra inning is big.
Now, like for a perfect example, tonight, you like Baltimore. I like San Diego. I wouldn't take +1.5 runs with that game because I would be laying 2-1.
Yeah, minus 180 something, minus 190.
So,
yeah,
I mean, if I feel San Diego's the right side of the game and the price is short like that, I'm going to take a shot. I mean, I could fancy it up and grab 1.5 runs, but I got to lay 2-1. If I start losing games like that, I'm going to hurt myself and I'm going to hurt my players. If I lose a couple of games like that, I got to win 4 games to make up for 2 major mistakes like that. So I look for certain price points. If I get those price points, I grab them. If I don't, I'll take into effect that +1.5 and I'll lay that extra juice here and there if I think the team makes sense and matches up right. You do the same?
Yeah, I don't even play the run lines. I mean, back in the day, the bookies,
You're still worrying about the stadiums closing.
Well, if you look at the bookies back in the past, man, any game that was -200 or above was always a run line. They never, back in the 80s and 90s, and they started switching it to the
they didn't have that?
No, not the local.
Yeah, when we played, they didn't offer shit.
They didn't offer nothing like that. It's a little bit different in hockey, man. Like tonight, I would lay the 1.5 with that. You get that open netter at the end. Hockey's a little different animal on the puck line, the 1.5.
Oh, I hate playing +1.5. I like playing -1.5 in hockey because you get those empty net goals, but +1.5 in hockey is terrible because they score the empty netters so often. It's just
unless you're
ridiculous.
on the winning side, then you're all right.
You got Edmonton tonight -1.5 +200. That's a good price there tonight.
No, it's not.
Minus -1.5 +200.
Oh,
Edmonton.
-1.5.
-1.5.
Yeah, good luck.
Panthers are +1.5. -250.
Give me the 12 points on the NBA game better.
You're going to probably need 15.
You'll have a better shot. You'll have a better shot.
You'll be watching America's Got Talent come halftime in that game.
What's the other side? Panthers +1.5.
+1.5, -250.
Yeah, it's crazy, some of those numbers. I mean, because they expect these games to be close and tight and physical and so forth with great goaltending and stuff like that. I mean, these teams can mix it up. But I think the big difference with the Panthers, not to spend much more time on that, is the way they dump the puck in and go after it. They cause mistakes, and these other teams seem to find a way to make mistakes, and the Panthers capitalize. That's what's been so good about them.
I agree, 100%.
Right? They dump it in there, and then they come charging in. The other team makes an errant pass, or they do something wrong, or they fall down, or something goes wrong, or they give them a penalty because they trip one of the Panther players because they're so aggressive, and the Panthers seem to have an edge. That's
Ben, one more question I think we have time for, looking at the clock.
Yeah, what time is it?
Yeah. So, last question. Ooh, do we want...
Let's get a good one.
You guys want to hear from John from Houston or Tony from Florida? Tell me which one.
Both.
Both of them?
Let's do them quick.
All right.
One guy answer it.
All right, one guy. So John...
He'll do this one.
So John from Houston says... for T.
I gotta torture him a little bit. He's got the.
Let's see what he's got to ask.
He's wearing a Panthers shirt and he's rooting for Edmonton. I'm not too kosher.
Do you guys treat day games differently than night games when it comes to the MLB?
I know my answer.
What do you think, Teddy?
I hate
absolutely.
I hate betting
no.
day games.
No,
I do. I stay away from day games.
Hey, unless it's in a dome stadium.
Why? If I like a game, what do I give a shit?
I don't, because I never win my day games. I don't know. Maybe it's a superstition.
But that's not what they're asking, though. They're asking, is there any difference in your decision making?
Yeah,
whether
not to play it.
Why? Just because you don't
you got a team extra innings late night goes to 12:30 at night, and they come back and got to play a noon game. I mean, that makes a big difference.
I just don't do well. I just don't do well.
It really doesn't matter to me. I'm going to play the game if I'm going to play the game.
All right.
Until I saw
my
Tony.
Answer, no. I like to play either day or night. If I like that team and I like the price, I don't care what time the game is.
I saw the Tony from Florida question, Ben. We kind of already answered that, so we can skip that one.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Real quick, I got to bring something up, guys. I saw something today on Instagram, and I'm always looking out for people that are new to this. There's a lot of people out there doing the sports betting thing now on Instagram. And, if you have a half a brain, you know who to watch out for. But I'm just putting up this example. Ben, if you could throw that picture up. If you guys see this, run. Put on your Nikes or your Asics or whatever, your Hokas, whatever your running shoes are, and run the other way as fast as you possibly can. Because when I see this, this guy's got a stack of money. Ben's getting the picture for us.
There you go.
This guy's got a stack.
He's got your money, though.
Yeah.
He took your money.
Yeah. This guy.
He's showing his money on his stack. That ain't cool.
Okay, look at this, guys.
Look at that. What is that?
Okay, so first of all, this guy is throwing up a gang sign, I guess.
Can you bring it down a little? It's kind of high.
I didn't want to show the guy's name. I don't want to.
okay.
I don't want to
Sorry.
abuse him that
Sorry.
much.
Sorry.
So number one, the guy's throwing up some type of gang sign. Number two, he's holding looks like about
Bricks of 50.
a quarter $1,000,000 maybe.
More.
Maybe $500,000 in his hand. And then underneath, Sports Picks page turning $50 bets into $5,000 weekly. Guys, stay away from this shit, man. This is insane.
Oh, I'm awake now, boy.
And I will say this: anyone
got
who
electrocuted.
anyone who
what
believes
happened?
that, I heard that shock. That was weird. Anyone who one more time, Ben, throw it back. Anybody who believes that deserves to lose every dollar that they have. Ben, can they see me while I'm saying this? Can you put me next to him? Real quick, I'm going to repeat this.
Put you next to him. You don't want to be next to him.
Hold on, ready?
Do you really
Yeah.
want to be next to him?
Real quick. 2,
Two.
1.
Take him down. Put
All right, look to the right there. Anybody who believes that you're turning $50 bets into $5,000 weekly from some gang member throwing up gang signs holding $500,000 in cash, you deserve to lose every fucking dollar that you own.
All right, there you go.
That's probably not even real
Breaking news by Teddy Brooks, ladies and
money.
gentlemen.
Drake does that too. Drake uses fake money in his videos.
But Drake has money. That's a whole different thing. Drake's got money. I don't hate on Drake because he's got millions of dollars. He's got a 757, hundreds of millions, a 757 jet. If Drake was holding that money up and showed a bet, I'd believe him. Even though I heard he uses.
Guys,
Stake gives him fake money. That's a difference.
Guys, remember the logic. You were probably taught by your parents when you were little kids. If it's too good to be true, it's not going to be true. And if you believe you could take $50 bills and turn them into $5,000
Weekly.
on a weekly basis, then I'm sorry to tell you, wake up. It's not going to happen. I've been around this going on 37 years. It's hard work, and it's not easy. And what we do is not easy. And you guys know that out there that are following us. And you know it yourself better than we know it because we're more consistent than the average players could ever be because we're quality over quantity. Most guys are just chasing games around and treating it like, I don't know what they're treating it like, like a hobby or whatever you want to call it, or recreation or loose cannons. So we've been through every aspect. There's nothing you're going to be able to sell us onto that we would change our decisions when it comes to how we run the business. So that's that. One last thing before we go. Big-time tennis going on in Paris right now. I don't know if you guys have been watching it. We had a great match today. The two American girls went at it, Coco Graf and Madison Keys. And Coco won in 3 sets. She won. She advances to the semifinals. She's looking dynamite. T, you've been watching. I know you're a tennis guy.
I got it on right now. That's why I've been watching over. I'm watching it.
That's why he's been so quiet.
I'm watching
what's up with that?
The Djokovic match. He's first set. He's down 5-3 right now, and he's serving right now. It's early in that.
They're going for the men's. It's going to be Sinner against Alcaraz, in my opinion. They're the two best players. I mean, they just look just so much more invincible than any of the other players right now. So I can't picture anything other than final of Sinner and Alcaraz. That'll be a great final match. And obviously Coco Gauff, maybe Sabalenka against Coco Graf, maybe to win the for the women. Goff, excuse me.
You and your names, you love them.
That's all right.
Hey, but she's a hometown hero, right? Isn't she
She's from Florida. Yeah.
She's from Coconut Creek.
No, she's from I think the Boca Palm Beach.
okay.
Palm Beach area.
Yeah. And that's it. So that's it, guys. Listen, we had a great show. We touched base on everything today. I hope we helped you out with some NBA, some NHL. We know we're all over this game. We're excited down here in South Florida. The bars, the sports bars are going to be 5-10 deep tonight. The only guy going to be rooting quietly like this is going to be TK, sitting in front of the Edmonton bandwagon while everyone else is screaming Panthers. So good luck to him wherever he's at tonight. I'm going to stay far away from him because I don't want him to look at my smiling face while he's sitting there frowning.
Daddy, I had him a seat back by the bathroom in the corner.
Yeah, he put me back.
I put him in. I gave you a good seat last time.
He invites me to the place, and he says, I got seats right next to me. I get there, I'm like 6 people down in between like 2 people. There's a seat for me.
And I put him next to 2 nice girls.
I know where you guys are talking
nice
about. And
girls.
that's a big time Panthers bar right there.
Oh,
Listen, here's what I gotta say. Right after the Panthers won last year, That next morning, they all went to the beach. They ran into the ocean. If they win again this year, I'm meeting them at the beach. Are you guys coming to the beach?
Let's go.
We're going to the beach, baby.
That's it. You guys should all come down and join us down here in South Florida. A nice getaway.
Ben, you coming to the beach if they win?
I'll be there.
All right, let's
I'm
do
surprised
it.
you didn't talk about it. I know you got a couple of minutes here, but O'Malley's fighting this week, man. UFC big fight out in
I'm
Newark.
thinking of going, man. I got
they're fighting in
invited.
New Jersey,
The Hard Rock
so-
in Atlantic City offered me tickets. I'm going to fly probably up there on Friday and come back on Sunday. Take my kid and check out.
Should be a good fight, man. He's a big underdog.
There's a couple
O'Malley.
of good fights this weekend.
Juliana
All right,
Pena.
guys, we've been on long enough. It's time to move on. Hey, we appreciate you following us because we know you guys have busy days, but we like that you guys are part of our team here. If you have any comments or questions, you know how to reach all of us. We're going to give you our information right now, how to get us on social media and take advantage of some opportunities we put out each and every day. Going to start with my man right here, the CEO of the Sports Prophets, my man, Teddy Brooks. How they find you, Teddy?
Yes, sir. You can find me at _profits_pick. Make sure you see the blue check mark. Ben, eventually, can we get the blue check mark there? So do they have that? It might be weird.
I don't know. I can look into it.
But anyway, go there or go to thesportsprofits.com. You can see packages there, or you, like I said, go to the Instagram's really where it's at. That's where we put all the free games. The channel. Make sure you join the channel. So go there, check us out.
All right, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Teddy Brooks. All right, here he is. I love it. I love it this time. Look at that. Again, I'm buzzed with that shirt.
I'm laughing because somebody just walked by with an Edmonton Oilers shirt
Oh,
on.
it was probably
Rod.
Is it Serena?
Yeah,
Rod?
100%.
All right, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Tell them where they can find you with all the great stuff you put out each and every day. You and I will be going live today on Instagram. Check that out, guys. We'll be back on. We put some extra stuff out there at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram. The one and only TK.
Yeah, before I tell you where you can find me, just going to let you know I'm giving it to you right now. Edmonton in 5 games. That's your play here in the series. But if you want to find me, go right to my website, tkwins.com. If you want to hit me up on social media, it's at tkwins. I finally started that broadcast channel like these guys, so you get the updates instantly. So check me out there at tkwins.
All right. T, look at this. This is what it's about, baby. It goes tonight. Stanley Cup Finals. All right, guys, it was a great show today. I'm Scott Matthews, the host of the Get the Edge podcast. We're on each and every Wednesday. We're here live on YouTube with Get the Edge Sports Podcast. You could find me, check out my broadcast channel, definitely. Put up free stuff all the time. We've been doing some dynamite winning on our free picks on Instagram and also on the broadcast channel. Just click and join the broadcast channel. Go to my Instagram, which is SM Sports Picks, Picks, as Teddy said, with the official blue check mark that we're verified. Don't go anywhere else. And check out the show on all podcast forums, Apple, Spotify, and our own channel on YouTube, Get the Edge Sports Podcast. Give us a like. Tell your friends about us and check us out each and every week. We'll be back on Wednesday. Have a great day. Go